Yeah, so I just wanted I guess we'll just get rolling. We'll just get
Yeah,
rolling with
let's
it.
go.
Yeah, so I wanted to just clear things up. I just the way that I am, I ended up looking up all the things that I said yesterday. It's knowledge I'm a little bit less familiar with, just because I'm a professional poker player. So I went back to the books and checked some of the things I said, and I just wanted to kind of read through some of the kind of key takeaways from what I read yesterday as it relates to the session conversation we had.
Yeah.
So I overstated a little bit the impact of the should and have to statements on a state of depression. On a 100-point test, asking 25 questions with each question on a 4-point scale, a max score on should and have to statements, which would be 4 points, would get you 1/3 of the way to mild depression, and would mean you're technically, psychologically speaking, an unhappy person. So it's not a situation that you would want to be in, but it's 1 point off of an unhappy person, and you would be 1/3 of the way to a depressed person. And again, it's a 25-point questionnaire, and you grade each question on a scale of 1 to 4. So it would be very easy if you're 1/3 of the way on a 100-point test on the first question. If you were, if you were 1/3 of the way on the first question out of 25 questions, you're 1/3 of the way to depression. That doesn't bode well for you, and you're starting to use this kind of negative, programming essentially on yourself that you would want to avoid. But I did want to clarify to make sure that people had the right information, because that's kind of the whole point of what we're doing. So, yeah, so that's the first part, and then the second one is around.
Well, even before you go there, right? So it still reinforces the point that we were trying to make, how important your narrative, the story you tell yourself, all the thoughts that you have in your mind, in your head, in your brain, and choosing the type of words, or maybe not choosing in that situation because you do it unconsciously. But if you purposefully choose words like I get to or I want to instead, you're already reframing your mind towards something that's better, more satisfying. And that's what we're looking for as well. Because imagine having this massive career in poker, but being miserable all the time. That's not something we're looking for as well.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. And it makes everything more difficult. If you have to do all the things that you have to do, then you have this massive list of chores as soon as you wake up, and then you go to sleep, and then you have this massive list of chores that just keeps appearing every single day, and you have to do all these things. But if you get to do these things that you want to do when you wake up, that's the whole point of being alive. So defining things as being things that you want to do is really important. And again, there's kind of the chicken or egg thing, which we talked about in the previous session, which is like, you can make yourself happier by smiling, even though you think about smiling as a byproduct of being happy. You can make yourself miserable by telling yourself you have to do all of these things that you really get to do, just by telling yourself that you have to do them.
100%.
Yeah, so it's really important to frame things properly. And then, are we good to transition to the next part now, or did you want to keep going? Okay.
No, this sounds good.
Yeah, so the next one was when I was stating I got asked what my goals were, and when I was actually in poker, my goals are usually very kind of short-term oriented, so that they're very achievable. And when you asked what my goals were, I referred to 100K, I think $1 million, and I think 2.6 million. And those were much less goals, even though they were in my head at the time, they're much less goals and more reasons for reasons why I was doing what I was doing. It was I felt as though if I had the reason to do it was that 100K meant flexibility to me. So that if I could get, to $100,000, I would have the freedom to choose from a wider range of economic activities, as opposed to just being stuck in one spot. And so that's why I wanted to get to 100K. It was less a goal. I didn't have to think about it all the time or push myself towards it. It was just the reason why I'm doing all this stuff is so that I can eventually get to $100,000, so that I can have the flexibility to breathe and look around. And the goals are the things that help me get there, which would be study, wake up, I'm going to study every day for X number of hours or minutes or whatever. I'm going to review my play for X amount of time every day or every week, or however you want to structure it. Those are the way that I would think about goals more. Before it was more those were my reason why, as opposed to any kind of goal. And the same thing was true about the 2.6 million. Which is the 2.6 million meant freedom for me, which was then you have the ability to, if you need to stop playing. The pressure to be a winner is kind of reduced, because as a professional poker player who makes his sole earnings off of the skill set you have and the quality of the games that are available to you, you always kind of feel like you're at the mercy of, are the games good?
Yeah.
Am I better than enough of the players playing at high enough limits for me to sustain what I'm doing? Like, there's always like a little bit of stress and anxiety that goes with that. And I was kind of free of that, or at least 2.6 million to me represented freedom from that.
Yeah.
So like, again, less of a goal, more of like a reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. Just like today, like the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing is less financial and more about my team, like supporting the people, donating to charity, etc. So so I just wanted to kind of clarify that, so that you guys had it.
Yeah, and I just want to jump in there, because everything you've said is so valuable in terms of how you framed it, and how sometimes people they look at the 100K and that's their pure goal. But then if you dig deeper and ask yourself why a couple of times, why is 100K important for you and why $1 million is, and then you realize it's so that you start from being handcuffed from your life to the flexibility you've used first. But then when you reach that $1 million or 2.6, then you get to freedom. And so you have this reasoning, this why, like you said, this purpose behind it that is more than just getting 100K.
Yeah. They're not just numbers, right? Like, so
exactly.
Because that's not really motivating either. I mean, if you get up and it's like a number, it could be 50, it could be 5, it could be 100, it could be $1 million. Like, why did you choose the number? What does the number mean to you? Like, and so like so like when I said the goal was a number, I felt like I did it a disservice, because the goal was really a reason. The number was really a reason, but I didn't explain what the reason was. And so I did want to come back and kind of revisit it and tackle it again.
Yeah. Well put.
Cool. Awesome.
Nice.
Thanks, man.
Good.